Have you ever noticed how strange a woman begins to behave as soon as you stop showing interest in her? When you stop chasing her, stop texting, stop making excuses, stop trying to meet up, when you simply stop being the man who is always available, something inside her shifts. She might pretend she doesn't care. She might joke, act distant, even intentionally ignore you. But behind that calm facade, there is always quiet panic. A woman doesn't feel the loss of your interest with her eyes. She feels it with her intuition. And for her, this change is not just about emotions, it's about power. Because when a man stops reacting, he becomes a mirror that shatters her illusion of control. As long as you're chasing, she can be cold. As long as you're texting, she can be silent. As long as you're proving yourself, she can test you. But as soon as you stop fighting for her attention, the entire dynamic flips. You become the man she can no longer control. And that is what truly alarms her. It sets off a chain reaction inside her. She doesn't even understand herself. You lose interest. She loses her balance. Because for a woman, a man's attention is like oxygen. And when you deprive her of it, she begins to suffocate. She senses that you have changed. Now you are calm, composed, reserved. You don't react to her provocations. You don't explain. You don't justify. You don't pursue. And that's when the panic starts to grow inside her. Because the script she once controlled has collapsed. Before you chased, she ran. Before you needed, she chose. But now the roles have reversed, and this change undermines her entire sense of comfort. You see, a woman cannot tolerate the idea of losing influence over a man. It's not always about love, it's about significance. She needs to feel central, important, emotionally powerful. This isn't manipulation, it's her nature. When a man frees himself from emotional dependence, a woman feels the ground slip out from under her feet. And that's when she begins her unconscious game of trying to win back what she lost. She suddenly becomes softer, warmer, even more affectionate. Not out of love, but out of fear. You might notice her starting to reach out to you again. A random text, a casual "how are you?" She might casually appear where she knows you will be. But nothing is accidental. Her psyche is simply trying to pull you back into her orbit. She might say she misses you, but what she really lacks is the feeling of control she had when you needed her. And here's the key. You must not react, not out of coldness, but out of awareness. Because every time you react emotionally, you give away the strength you gain through your calmness. Your self-possession makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability is power. Before you were an open book, now you are a mystery. Before you asked, now you choose. Before you depended, now you are free. And she feels this deeply. A man's detachment destroys a female's sense of dominance. Suddenly, she sees you differently, as a force, a control, a power. And this change awakens something she cannot hide, respect. As long as you needed, she played. When you became calm, she started seeking. When you became indifferent, she started remembering. And that's when the real turnaround begins. When a woman feels she is losing control, her ancient instinct, the inner huntress, awakens. She might look calm, smile, act normal, but a storm is brewing inside. Your silence has become her obsession, because the female mind cannot stand indifference. You can shout, argue, even fight, and she will still feel a connection. But when you fall silent, when you become calm, composed, and detached, that's when her world begins to spin. She starts asking herself, what did I do wrong? Why is he so calm? Does he have someone else? Doesn't he love me anymore? You have become the puzzle she cannot solve, and that mystery drives her crazy. Your lack of reaction becomes her biggest challenge. She no longer controls the narrative, and this pulls her back. You are no longer a resource she manages. You have become the force around which she revolves. She starts doing things she never did before. She becomes kind, attentive, caring. Or maybe she provokes you, trying to incite jealousy. These are all attempts to elicit an emotional reaction. But behind it all lies one truth. She is trying to regain her lost power. Now she is dependent on your indifference. You are silent, but your silence screams louder than words. You do nothing, but your absence attracts her. This is not manipulation, it is psychology. A woman does not respect the predictable. She respects what she cannot control. The less you explain, the more she questions. The calmer you remain, the stronger she feels the tension. The longer you stay silent, the more she misses you. You have become her challenge. And anything that challenges a woman inevitably attracts her. She may resist, deny it, even get angry. But deep down, she is drawn to it. Because the power in a man, true, quiet, emotional power, always commands respect. And that's where the transformation begins. The woman who once acted like a goddess now feels small, insecure, and vulnerable. She wants your attention again. Not out of love, but to feel significant. She might say, "I miss you." But what she truly lacks is the confidence she had when you needed her. And that is why you cannot go back. Not because you need to be cold, but because returning restarts the same cycle. She feels control again, and you lose your power. Your true strength lies in restraint, in allowing her to sit with that uncertainty, because only from this tension does respect grow. Soon her coincidences start to appear. She texts out of nowhere, likes your old photos, shows up where you live, posts stories she knows you will see. This is not communication, it is influence. When a woman loses a man's attention, she is not looking for connection, but for recognition. Her ego cannot stand being forgotten, so she will test you. If you are distant, she becomes tender. If you are calm, she becomes sweet. If you are indifferent, she becomes emotional. She switches from anger to warmth, from pride to vulnerability, all to get you back. She may even become that ideal woman you once dreamed of. But don't be fooled, this is not a revelation, it is a strategy. She wants you to invest again, to open up, to believe in the story again. Because as soon as you react, the game resets. And if you fall for it, everything you built through distance will crumble in an instant. That is why your task now is not to play, but to observe. Observe the changes, the masks, the shifts in tone, the sudden caring. Understand she has not changed. And this certainty, this inner peace, is what she feels the most. Because you are no longer reacting to her world. You have become your own world. She depends on your silence. She feels your presence even when you are quiet. And deep down she knows she can no longer control you. You've outgrown the game. You have risen above the emotional chaos. You are no longer seeking validation. You are living with self-respect. And this is the ultimate shift. A man stops being forgettable the moment he gains inner integrity. Because true power is not in holding on to something, but in letting go. Not out of anger, not out of ego, but out of clarity. You stop fighting for those who never fought for you. You stop justifying yourself to those who never listen. You take back your energy, and in that silence you finally meet your true self. No drama, no noise, just peace. And that peace becomes your aura of strength. You are no longer just a man, you have become a direction, because everything she feels now starts with your silence. You have become free, and freedom is the highest form of respect, because the man who can walk away is the man she will never forget.